The fact is, the pay offer that is on the table means that anyone who works as a nurse in the NHS will be worse off if they accept that.
Well, I have set out why we can't accept 19%, and I think, we have to be. We're also accountable to the British public to fund that pay rise. And what we would be, if we matched, say, to 11%, which is, just above inflation right now, that would add about £1,000 to every household in this country.
It's just complete bollocks. The Prime Minister has shamelessly used that figure too.
We've accepted in full the recommendations of independent bodies who make the recommendations to the government about pay settlements in the public sector. But what I'm not going to do is ask ordinary families up and down the country to pay an extra £1,000 a year to meet the pay demands of the union bosses. That wouldn't be right and it wouldn't be fair.
And even worse, he sent out hapless ministers to repeat it.
If you accept all the inflation level pay rises, that's about £28 billion. It costs every household just short of £1,000.
We've also got to balance that with what is fair for your viewers. And if everyone in the public sector were to receive a pay rise in line with inflation, that would cost an extra £28 billion, an extra £1,000 per household.
There are about 28 million households in the UK, and the Prime Minister is telling the public a real terms pay rise for public sector workers will cost every one of them an extra £1,000. It's completely untrue. The Prime Minister knows it, and so do the government ministers shamelessly repeating it. It assumes all 28 million UK households would make exactly the same contribution in tax, but some households don't pay income tax, and the amount of tax paid varies from household to household, with the best off paying more. And any pay rise for public sector workers will itself be taxable, and that tax is included within the 28 billion, which goes straight back to the government. So with that in mind, listen again.
We're also accountable to the British public to fund that pay rise. And what we would be, if we matched, say, to 11%, which is, just above inflation right now, that would add about £1,000 to every household in this country.
It's absolutely shameful, and even worse, the Health Minister seems to be suggesting the figure now applies just to a nurse's pay rise.